We have some wild news to go over today as former head coach Darvin Ham called out the Lakers and made some shocking comments around his tenure with LA. We're going to break down those comments as well as discuss some new trade rumors and reports that are circulating surrounding the Lakers, and who they're targeting may shock you. Stay tuned for all that in this episode. But folks, before we get into it, if you're a part of the 83% who are not subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. So if you're enjoying it, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And again, thank you guys for your continued support. I see you all in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into it. A lot of things to go over. Now, this is obviously hot news and hot topic because it's a hot topic because the Bucks just won the NBA Cup. Darvin Ham is the GOAT at the NBA Cup. He remains undefeated in between two seasons. And he says, he goes at the Lakers. To do as well as I did, I swear to God, anywhere else, I'm probably looking at an extension. I'm not talking feelings, just facts. They go from not making the playoffs to the conference finals, and we won the in-season tournament. People always talk about us losing to Denver, but they don't talk about how we got to Denver. We got a great squad in Memphis, and we beat a great squad in Memphis, sorry. And we beat Stephen Curry and Golden State. Now, this has fans intrigued. Now, I'm not going to say it has fans up in arms. I don't know how, again, Darvin Ham, I wasn't a fan of him as a coach. I think he made a ton of poor decisions that ultimately led to his firing. I think he lost the locker room. I don't think that was, a big surprise to people when he was let go and fired by the Los Angeles Lakers. But to say that he did as well as he possibly could have and to say he's looking at an extension anywhere else, I think that's a bit disingenuous. And I'm curious to see what you all think about it in the comment section down below, and let me know, because I think there's a couple sides to this. There's a minority that are super, big fans of Darvin Ham and what he did in LA. Obviously, he got the job and he was liked for a little bit there. But whether we're talking about the playoffs, yes, they of course got to Denver. They beat the Grizzlies. They beat Steph Curry and Golden State, although they aren't the same team. They weren't the same team as, the same powerhouse as they once were. But now we're talking about a team in the Lakers that underperformed. You have LeBron James. I can't really say in his prime because, again, his prime spans forever, really, but not in his prime. They should have done more. They should have been better. And it's not even directly about the results to me. You think about even just the biggest thing that stands out to me. There's a million different things. His rotations were horrible. You think about the whole debacle with Taurean Prince last season. The whole debacle was the fact that we all know, again, if you weren't watching the Lakers last year, basically Darvin Ham constantly played Taurean Prince, kept him in the starting lineup. And even though Taurean Prince last season, he's having a very good season with the Bucks. I'll give him credit and give him props where it's due, because he followed Darvin Ham to the Milwaukee Bucks, and ultimately it's worked out for the Bucks so far regarding Taurean Prince. But the constant lineup changes. There's whole documentaries, whether it's whole stories made about Darvin Ham's lack of ability to use critical thinking, both in the clutch regarding, of course, play calling, all those things, but also just simple lineup construction. We saw the D'Lo starting lineups. We saw the ones with Taurean Prince where they would continue to start Taurean Prince. We saw the Vanderbilt fiasco. There were so many different things that Darvin Ham could have done better. And to say he did as well as he possibly could have, I think there's a huge argument to be made otherwise. And again, he's talking facts, talking about how they beat some teams. Yes, he had some decent stretches. Yes, they beat some good teams. I'm not entirely sold on the fact that was because of Darvin Ham. I think it was because of the talent. Sure, Darvin Ham played some factor into it. I'm not taking that away from him. He was fine at times. But you think about all the lineup miscues they had, just the constant changing of the starting lineups, all these different things that went down, all cultivated into Darvin Ham getting let go. And obviously he signed with the Lakers, signed with the Bucks. And it's rare that you see a former head coach go at their team like this. And I'm very curious to see what you all think about it in the comment section down below, because ultimately I wasn't a huge Darvin Ham fan. I still am not. He found an assistant coaching role alongside Doc Rivers in Milwaukee. Good for him. I'm happy for him on that front, but I don't think it was ever going to work out with LA. And I also don't think there was going to be many other teams that were going to give him an extension, because he says anywhere else I'm looking at an extension. He didn't get a head coaching job. He didn't land a head coaching job with any other team. So to say that with any other team, you're landing an extension, I don't think that is the case. There's a lot of good head coaching spots available these days. A lot of great coaches around the league that don't have jobs as head coaches. So ultimately, I disagree with Darvin Ham a lot here, but let me know down below what your thoughts are on all of that. And let's move on now to some trade rumors. We have multiple Lakers trade updates here, and one in particular. So Bleacher Report dropped their 3 most likely trade targets for all the teams. And this one's Dejounte Murray, Jeremy Grant, and Dorian Finney-Smith. We'll have another video featuring Jeremy Grant and Dorian Finney-Smith because there's a bunch of reports coming out. But the Lakers have been linked to Dejounte Murray for a very long time, dating all the way back to when he was initially traded. And now, the Lakers missed out on the deal at that time a couple years ago. And now you're looking at it from the perspective of, of course, when he was with the Hawks, the Lakers tried to acquire him at the 2024 trade deadline. They didn't. They struck out. And now with the, New Orleans Pelicans dealing with a ton of injuries, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, all these guys, specifically Zion Williamson, of course, now you're at a point where a trade could be very, not likely, but could be very interesting and a very interesting fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. You can see this here. The Pelicans are one of the most interesting teams to watch. Injured Zion, injured Brandon Ingram. If the Pels are listening to offers for Murray just months after landing him, the Lakers should be the first team to make a call. LA tried to get Murray from the Hawks last year, and the two-way guard would dramatically help the Lakers 26th ranked defense. And then, of course, Grant and Finney-Smith are great versatile wings, which we all know. We know that JJ Redick came out and said they're looking for a point of attack defender. In his prime, Dejounte Murray was that. But we saw when he went to Atlanta that his defense significantly dropped off. He was not the same defender in Atlanta as he was in San Antonio. It just wasn't the case. Now, whether that's because of his, lack of motivation, he didn't like his fit alongside Trae Young, whatever it ended up being, lack of fit alongside Trae shouldn't dramatically decrease your defense. But as you look at the potential impact of Dejounte Murray, again, defensive prowess, playmaking abilities, that is all there. And it would definitely elevate the Lakers' performance on both ends. I think AD, Dejounte Murray, and LeBron James kind of starting five with, with Austin Reaves and whoever else you want to add in on a given night. Phenomenal. I think that's a very good starting five. And I do ultimately think that Dejounte Murray, if they can elevate him back to the defensive ability, he's still young. He hasn't lost his ability to play elite defense and be one of the best two-way point guards in the league. And there's no doubting his playmaking abilities. He's one of the best facilitating point guards in the league in his prime as well. Him with LeBron James running pick and rolls with even LeBron running pick and rolls with AD, it opens up a lot of different things for this team and also gives them, of course, a point of attack defender, which is something that we know they've wanted. And you can see this here. Woj said way back, the trade deadline presents a unique opportunity for teams to reevaluate their rosters and make strategic plans for the future. We know this is, of course, Woj stepped down, but as deadline approaches, things continue to happen in the NBA, specifically surrounding, in this case, the Los Angeles Lakers and Dejounte Murray. But as the deadline approaches closer and closer, the Pelicans really have to debate whether or not they want to move this guy. And if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, I think you do. I think you do make a strong case to make a push for Dejounte Murray. That being said, I'm not exactly sure what the cost will be. And you can see this here. I'm not exactly sure the Lakers should fully pursue him. Again, they tried to at the 2024 deadline, which is why I think there's a good world if the Pelicans are willing to trade Dejounte, that the Lakers step up and make that move. But we know it fell through. Things weren't working out. And now if you're the Lakers, coming off of a pretty rough month of December so far, you have a chance to really make up some ground as the trade deadline approaches here in the next couple of months. You start to make pushes. You start to, win some more games, gather up some wins. LeBron's back healthy. And if you add a point of attack defender, now I don't know if Dejounte Murray is the BL answer. I love Jeremy Grant, which I have a video on soon. Even Dorian Finney-Smith. You have to make one of these moves. They've been linked to a ton of different players. And now even Kyle Kuzma. But now we're at the point where the Lakers need to pull the trigger on one of them. And let me know down below, would you be interested in a Dejounte Murray to the Los Angeles Lakers trade? I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it would fit really well alongside LeBron and AD. But when you're looking at draft compensation and giving up a ton, he's not the same player as he once was defensively. But maybe now playing alongside LeBron and one of the best defensive players in AD, that could elevate Dejounte's game on the perimeter. And if that's the case, and he becomes a great perimeter defender once again, then you're looking very good if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. If you can get his ceiling, his defensive ceiling of all NBA and, all defensive first team, it'd be a very scary sight for other teams. So that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. A ton of things going on right now. So we'll keep you up to date with all the latest news. So make sure to smash that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys later.